For the next 5 minutes, I really want to give you some secrets, some hacks, some things we learned over the years on parenting that can really help make parenting, one, enjoyable, make our kids or develop children who have great character and happy children. That's really what I want. I want kids with great character, but I want them to enjoy life and be happy. And so I'm going to give you some really specific things to be working on from the age 0 on the way up. And if we start all the way to 0, it's really important that our children learn, right? And I don't know what stage you are in life right now with your children. You may have a 5-year-old, may have a 10-year-old, may have a 13-year-old. To learn to have contentment, which means what? To be happy with where I'm at and what I have. You know, the happiest children aren't the ones that have the most toys. They're not the ones that have the most time oftentimes with their parents. It's kids who have learned to be happy, grateful, and thankful for where they're at and what they have. And that's our responsibility to be navigating our children, whatever season they are in. That we can be content. The Bible talks about that. Paul says, I can be content whether I have lots or I have little, whether I'm shipwrecked. The problems don't affect my happiness. And we want to raise up because otherwise, as adults, our children will be tossed like the winds and the waves. And, be happy for a second and be miserable for a long time. Because we don't want to raise kids whose circumstances dictate my happiness. Those are dangerous teenagers. Those are teenagers that are driven by fleshly desires. That in order for me to be happy, I have to have certain needs met rather than finding the ability to be happy. So at 0, as soon as we have a child, and this is what we used to do 50 years ago when kids were happier, when our culture and society was much better, is that parents taught their children how to self-soothe. What does that mean? As an infant, they can learn to be happy on their own. Now, we meet needs. That's our job as parents. But I don't have to dance for all of your wants because that's not reality in life. I'll try to, but that's not really my main goal. My main goal is I meet your needs. And now you need to be able to be happy with what you have. So as an infant, you've been held, been played with, right? You've been changed, you've been fed. Your needs have all been met. Now, if you want to cry while I'm holding you, I won't hold you very long. I'm going to put you down, and you're going to learn how to get happy, how to get self-soothing. That also oftentimes making sure that your children have that nap time. So we sleep trained our children. All of our children slept within 6 weeks after they were born. That makes me a better parent when I don't have to get up 3 times in the middle of the night or Holly doesn't have to get back up. But it also teaches our children you are a welcome member of the family. Right? And so we're training our children, you have time in the crib. And what that looks like then, all the way up, right? All the way up until they start going to school, they have room time. And this is teaching them, once again, self-control. We talked about that last week. But it's teaching you to be happy with the little bit you have. You don't get a gajillion toys. You get a toy. Learn to be happy with a piece of paper and some coloring crayons, right, for the next 20 minutes. So it's teaching them, in a sense, to be content. Then you begin to have toddlers that are content. You have teenagers that are content. If you don't do the work and the effort to teach them contentment, then I'm telling you what, 6th grade, 8th grade, high school is going to be very, very trying on you and also on them. That we have to teach our children to be grateful and thankful for what they got. And so we start teaching our children, and I noticed my 9-month-old already is learning how to sign. And it's not mine, my grandchild, little River, he's so cute. And so we already grab his hand, and we teach him how to go please, and then we teach him how to go thank you. And what's the power in that? One, everything in life. Please is very powerful. Hey, please may I have. Thankful is very, right? Teaching them to be grateful. Can't even talk yet. By the time they're a year old, they're already saying thank you, right? Get in the habit of always saying thankful, having gratitude. And so as I teach my children to have gratitude, once again, that aims them towards contentment. Your junior higher can be all mad and upset because I don't have this or I don't have that. And it's important to point them to what do you do have. Let me tell you, I would tell my kids, let me tell you, I know that you think your life is so hard, but you got parents that love you. You got some shoes. You got a phone. I know it's an older phone, but you have a phone. I didn't have a phone, right? There's so many things you have in life, and you're upset that one thing you don't have instead of learning to celebrate the things that you do have. We're very big on temper tantrums and fits that we don't deal with. I'll never give you something when you're having a fit. That's not life. Because you'll raise an adult when they don't get their way in a relationship that they just have to escalate into an adult tantrum. And some of you may know that. I'm not going to raise a child like that. that we do not use those type of means to get what we want in life. We can be happy with what we want. Doesn't mean that we may not have a little argument with our spouse and trying to get some things to maybe go in a way that we think that should. But we don't throw a fit and we don't throw a tantrum in that. You know, if you raise up a child who it's all about what I get, that's a horrible marriage. A great marriage is about what I give into it. It's not about what I take out of it. And so we want to make sure that they find a way to see the good in their circumstances, good in their brothers and their sisters, good in their parents, because one day they'll have a marriage and they'll begin to see the good in the spouse that God gave them. Rather than looking at what they don't have and getting on social media and out the office and learning and falling down that pit of ungratefulness, that you'll find that most marriages that are unhappy, it is a lack of ability to being content for what they do have. Not that there's not issues to work on and things that we can't improve on, but can we celebrate maybe the good characteristics of our husband? Can we celebrate the good things that God put inside of our wife? Or is it always about what they don't have? It's a lack of gratefulness and a lack of thankfulness. It's the inability to see the positive and the good in whatever our circumstances, because then they'll be upset at what they don't see in their friends, what I don't see in my teachers, what I don't see in my class, what I don't see in myself. And that's power. That how you see yourself is how the world is going to see you. And so if you walk through life your children walk through life on what they don't have. I easily go, man, I'm 5'4". It'd be cool if I was 6'2" and I could get so focused on that, what I don't have. Or I can celebrate the great gifts and talents and abilities that God put inside of me. And that's important for us as parents to point our children to those things. Yeah, I get it. Little Johnny's got this and little Johnny's got that. But let's celebrate what you have and the gifts and talents that God gave to you. Yeah, they're great at football. But look at you. You're musical. Like you're gifted and you're an artist, right? Oh, or maybe I wish I could sing. You can sing, but maybe not as good as Sally. But you know what you can do? You're very athletic, and it just seems to come natural and come easy to you. And so, learning to get our children to celebrate what the things that the world provides to me and the things that are inside of me by God. And when you do this, you will raise a happy child who finds a way to find the good in themselves. I find the good in others. I find the good in my siblings, because siblings can easily find the negative in each other. But remember that siblings are the training ground for really the foundation of all relationships that will come into their life. Do they hold on to unforgiveness? Are they mad and upset because you got something and I didn't get something? Well, here's the reality. Life is not fair. Sometimes I'll have parents go, when we have one kid have a birthday, we get all the kids gifts. And I go, that's one of the worst things that you can possibly do. It's horrible. What are you teaching your children is not to celebrate when somebody else gets something good. That's a powerful thing to have, because there'll come a day when somebody in the office may get a promotion that they think they deserve. And now you can't celebrate somebody else getting a victory, somebody else getting a win, because you were taught in your home that everything has to be fair, and that's not a reality. That's not life. And so we have to look at also, God rewards us and God blesses us. But I have to raise up kids who celebrate the victories and the wins of other people. Are you raising that in your children? Yeah, they got a birthday and you got nothing. And that's a great thing. Let's celebrate your brother on this day. Let's be happy because they got something special and something amazing. And so I'm training my children in, once again, grateful for what I have, but excited when other people get a blessing, that they can get on social media and see that somebody else got something really cool and awesome and be like, good for them. I know that God's going to provide something cool for me. He always does. My parents are going to do something great for me. But here's the thing. I am content and happy with what I have. What my parents are able to provide and what my life is able to provide, I'm excited for that. And that is, stuff never makes you happy. More new things don't make you happy. That's why you see oftentimes, usually very wealthy children are the unhappiest people. They got everything, but they haven't learned how to be content, because there's always something more. There's always somebody that's better than you. There's always something that in this life that is winning that you didn't get. And so you're always chasing stuff rather than simply chasing contentment. So build inside of your children. Be working towards that of gratefulness, thankfulness, the ability to see what I do have, the ability not to throw my temper tantrums, never give in to a tantrum, because once again, you're teaching your children that if I don't have something that I want, I have to escalate my emotions so that the world somehow is going to dance for me. And that is not reality. Instead, you didn't get a cookie, and that's a good thing. That's all right. We may get a cookie later, but we're not going to get a cookie right now. And so I confirm inside of them. I confirm in them. I point at them. I point them to gratefulness, thankfulness, seeing the good, but then also having the ability to be content and happy with what I have. This is a secret to having happy and raising happy children who become happy adults.